Hello, this is Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Scotland. And yesterday I took part in the InspireInk Blog Hop with this box, which is a rectangular impossible box. Our theme for the blog yesterday was 3D projects, and I quite like making boxes, but thought I would push myself to do something a little bit extra. So I have quite a few of these Molton brown 50ml bottles and thought it would be nice to make a box for them and to make a rather unusual box. So the impossible box, the ones that I've seen most of have been square, but one of my friends, Anne-Marie Maclean of Papercraft, made a rectangle one last summer, and I gave it a go, and I thought I would resize that for these little bottles as well. The designer series paper that I've used to decorate the box, I stamped just an A4 sheet with the Forever Fern stamp set. I've used a combination of these leaves and also the little speckles stamp there as well. So for that I've used pumpkin pie, terracotta tile, Cajun craze, bumblebee, crushed curry, and the dots, the speckles are cinnamon cider, and I've done that in various generations on that as well, just really to kind of fill in the background a little bit. So I'm going to be using more of that. I've cut up some more of that as well. But for this box I am changing the terracotta tile that I've used for the base to bumblebee card. The stamp that I've used for the sentiment also comes from Forever Fern, and I stamped that with terracotta tile, and this gold piece here is from the Forever Gold speciality paper, and this pack comes with sheets of two kind of designs. This one that you could use for card fronts on that, and also this other one that has quite a few labels that you can use and quite a few laser cut leaves that you can pop out and use for that. So that's what I used on that, and I'll be doing the same on my next one, the one that I'm just about to make now. So the card I'm using measures 10 inches by 7.5 inches. And so on the long side, so the 10 inches along the top there, I want to score this at, let me just get this right, 3 1/4, use the other end, 3 1/4 inches by 4, and then 4 3/4 inches, then 8 inches, and 9 1/2 inches. Okay, so that's front side, back side, and a tab. Turn that around, and I want to do 1 1/2 inches for the base, then take that along to 5 inches, and that gives us the height, 5 3/4, and then 6 1/2, and that will help give us our fold over piece for the top, for the impossible bit. And then folding along the second horizontal line from the top, and I'm going to just put little marks at 3/4 of an inch, at, let me just double check that. That's 4 inches, 5.5 inches, and 8 3/4 inches. So essentially it's 3/4 of an inch in either way from those score lines, and these score lines are 3/4 of an inch apart as well, which gives us the 1.5 inches there, which equals that bit there. And that's the key to making sure that the impossible box kind of goes together, just in case you wanted to resize it for something else. That's the bit you kind of have to remember. So keeping that folded along there, I'm going to do a little bit of the cutting. So from the mark that I made, I'm cutting down to the next horizontal, but I'm obviously cutting through 2 layers of card when I do that. So, and then cutting straight down the score lines. I'm just going to do them all. First of all, just down to the next horizontal score line. And again, you're going through 2 layers there. And then from the next notch mark that I made, I'm taking my scissors down into that corner there where I've just cut down to on that, and then I can pop that out. Same again on the diagonal from the mark to where we've just cut, from the mark on the diagonal into that corner there. Slightly different on here, I just want to take a little notch out of the tab there. Okay, so when I open it up, you've got these sort of chevrons all pointing that way that should be all the same size, and that will help us do the impossible box fold. So I'm going to just burnish that one at the moment so that I can just finish off the cutting. Just mitering that slightly there, going straight up on these large rectangles, straight up the score line on that, and then I can pop the large ones out the way and just miter those ones in as well, and it just helps to get a neater fold along the bottom of the box. I think I've mitered that one already. Yeah. Okay, so that's our finished cut piece, like that. Now, I've already gone ahead and cut up the pieces of my paper, and you'll see that they don't go all the way up on that panel there, because there's no point in putting the decoration all the way to the top there because it's hidden, and it would make it even more difficult to open than it already is, because there's obviously there would be an extra layer of paper or card in there, which we don't really need. So I'm just lining that up with the bottom edge, just leaving the same gap that I've got along the sides there. Same again, lining it along the bottom score line like that. And the last one for there. managed to get a bit of glue on that. I'll take that off with my adhesive remover. There we are. Okay, I'll leave that to dry a bit more and it'll come off a bit easier. So, this is the bit you need to remember. This bit comes over like that. And you need to make sure that you've done that bit before you try folding the and gluing the box together. Ask me how I know, because it's really difficult if you don't do that bit. Okay, so I've also got pieces of the stamped paper that I can add along the top bit there as well. Oopsie. And again, just making sure you've got an even margin around about. I'll put the dimensions for these pieces in my blog post. The link to that blog post will be in the description below, and you can click on that to get details of not only the dimensions for the card and the score lines and the sizes for these pieces for decoration, but also links to the products that I have used, including all of the ink colours in there as well. Okay. So I managed to get glue all over my fingers as usual. Now I'm going to put glue along that tab there. I'm not sure if I actually burnished that, I didn't know. Oh, well, it's a bit late now. But I'm not putting any glue on that tab there at the moment. I'm just lining up this one here. Okay. Give that a good press. There we are. And I like to move it over to the other side and press it down again just to make sure. Okay, now this tab will get popped in there, but that's the last bit that we do. So our join is at the back here, so I'm going to fold over the two bottom, the two side tabs, then fold in the back and then glue on this bit here, and that becomes the front of our box there, and it just means you've got a nice smooth edge at the front there, and our join will be at the back. Should have had these ready. Another two bottles that I can pop in there like that. Now this is just going to need a little bit of gentle persuasion to fold the way that we want it to go. Okay, so that's how it's gonna go in. Have I done something wrong there? No, it just needs to go under that bit. That's it. So just a little bit of gentle persuasion. And these bits kind of just fold in like that. So it's a kind of under and over type of thing, like that. Now, I probably haven't burnished that well enough. Just neaten up that edge. Okay, so final touch of the box is to glue that bit under that bit there. And I think this is where I had pushed it a bit too far in the last time and made it a little bit too tight to come out. So I've got a little bit of glue seeping out there, just tidy that off. Okay, now as I say, that is the back of our box there. So it will just take a couple of bits of persuasion. Oops, I've done that a bit too quickly. To slide up and down. Just hold that in place, and in fact I'll leave that just now whilst I add the other decoration on the front. So I have got a piece of terracotta tile. I've taken it down a size this time, so there's not quite the same margin showing around about on that. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this gold piece and pop that on. Not worried about the glue smudging there because I'm going to cover it with our stamped piece, and I'm going to pop that on with a few dimensionals. Take the backing off. That. And I can sit that in the middle. You just got a tiny little frilled edge. The circles were all cut with the layering circles dies. And my final touch was to add some of the champagne rhinestones. And I put a big one there, slightly smaller one there, and a little one on there. So let's just check. My glue should be dry on that now. Not the neatest finish on the top there. Again, it just takes a little bit of persuasion to slide that up on there. And then you'll be able to get in. I don't want to kind of force it too much at the moment in case the glue's not entirely dry. But yeah, that's how the mechanism works. I'll do it more on this one so that you can see. As I say, this one's been worked a little bit more, so and the glue well and truly dried on that one, so you can see how that just sits down like that. I hope you've enjoyed this project. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I really would appreciate it if you did that. And if you have time to leave me a comment, that would be even better. Please pop over to my blog and get all the rest of the details. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.